Clint.
We could do that tonight.
Why not?
Can you see us?
The following presentation is made possible by the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club and sponsored in part by PG Telco. And welcome to a night of Prairie Grove Tiger football. On the behalf of the administration, Superintendent Alan Williams, Assistant Superintendent Vol Woods, Athletic Director Coach Mike Green, Principal Ron Bond, Assistant Principal Joey Saunders, and Head Coach Danny Absher, his staff, and the entire Prairie Grove Tiger football team, we want to thank you for joining us for tonight's game. The broadcast of tonight's game is made possible through PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Ozark Delight, America's #1 fundraising lollipop. Lewis Automotive, serving all of Northwest Arkansas since 1947. The Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. Sterling Drug, serving Prairie Grove since 1918. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with a hometown touch. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, shakes, malts, and more, just south of the Northwest Arkansas Mall. J&B Auto, Prairie Grove's bumper-to-bumper auto parts store. And Frederick's One Stop, the one stop for all your needs when you're on the go. Prairie Grove football is also brought to you in part by the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club. Showing your Tiger pride is just a membership away. And now your crew for tonight's game, Lynn Gregson, Zach Arns, and Steve Halbert. It's football time in Prairie Grove.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we come to you from Bobcat Stadium in Berryville, Arkansas for tonight's game between the visiting Prairie Grove Tigers and the Berryville Bobcats. Well, Zach, tonight a little bit different action for us here. We've used every minute of setup time.
We have, and it's been an adventure to say the very, very least.
Well, tonight's game, Zach, we talked a little bit on the way up tonight, is that teams coming in at different places. You have Prairie Grove winning 2 big games against big rivals. Beat Farmington a couple weeks ago in a very exciting game, and then last week against Shiloh had the opportunity to end a long losing streak to them, and now tonight you face a team who comes in 0-7, and that's where your focus can get messed up.
Yep.
And you've got to come in a little hungry because you've had 2 big games and now the opportunities to make mistakes. So you want to focus on concentration.
It's like we talked about earlier. It's it's the 3 E's. It's effort, enthusiasm, and execution. I mean, this is a game that if you look at it on paper, Prairie Grove should win. It should win big. But there's that infamous trap game. You've got a big win last week, a big emotional win last week at Tiger Stadium, 34-14 over Shiloh. I love saying that score. But then you come in this week, and although Berryville's 0-6, hasn't really gotten it going yet, these are the kind of games that scare you to death.
Right.
Because if there's one thing you don't want to do, get tripped up in a game like this. I think both you and I agree that 3 weeks down the line, I mean, this should be a win. Next week, following week, we should roll into Gravette playing for the conference championship. I think both you and I agree on that. But you got to take care of your business. You got to do exactly what you're supposed to do. And tonight it starts with it doesn't matter if you win by 1 or win by 100 tonight. Just win the football game and get out of here.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Following the commercial break, we will go to the Coach's Corner with Coach Danny Absher of the Prairie Grove Tigers, and we'll rejoin you after that. Thank you for listening in and watching Prairie Grove Tiger football.
It's time now for the Coach's Corner, brought to us by Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas since 1946. What does it take to win a President's Award from Ford Automotive? It takes hard work. It takes dedication, teamwork, a lot of the same ingredients that Coach Absher looks for in his Tiger football team. Well, at Lewis Ford, they won the President's Award because they delivered award-winning service before, during, and after each and every sale. That's the standard that's been set at all of the Lewis Automotive dealerships, be it Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep. Lewis Automotive, delivering award-winning service since 1947. Lewis Automotive says, go Tigers! Got Coach Absher here, Coach's Corner, and Coach. It seems as though the last couple of weeks we've been on this huge emotional high, a big victory against Shiloh. Where does that rank as far as victories in your book right now?
Yeah, it's pretty big. You know, it's the SU2 rivals right there for Prairie Grove. You know, we'd seen big Farmington as anybody, and if we didn't get them, we just seen a good shot, but to get two of them in a row, and that felt great. My wife even said, now if Dallas just win, I got a sweep.
Don't get her hopes up on that one. Let's talk about, have you mentioned the playoff word yet? I mean, based upon where we are this season versus this time last season, that has to be entered into your mind, or are we just taking it one game at a time? How are you doing it?
We take it one game at a time, but what we said that during the Farmington week, you know, this one has playoff implications, and the same thing this past week when we played Shiloh. It's got home playoff game implications. That was what we talked about. And I think every game does. You know, you draw the wrong one, I'm telling who two, and you may not be at the right spot, but hopefully you can continue to do well and get a home playoff spot.
Now, as we prepare for Berryville, of course, you know, Berryville, when you look at the record and you see what's happened to them, you know, on the field, it hasn't been a very pretty year for them. Do you worry about a little letdown with the Tigers, or are you just keep the intensity level just the same as you have all season long?
Well, you know, with the group, you know, I don't think I plan for a different intensity level. And, you know, as a coaching staff, what we do is go out there and do the same thing that we do every week. This is what we have to do. You know, there's not a whole lot of hiding. Who knows who wins which game? Whether it's the preseason, you know, this team is ranked number one and that one's ranked number whatever. No one really knows. But after some games played, you can kind of tell and compare, you know, who's probably going to compare to who. And you can't keep that from your team or your players. They know who has performed and who hasn't performed. They know what's going on. And so we just take care of business. Just do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't take anybody too light. Don't let anybody psych you out. Let's just do our job.
Now, we look at, you know, again, comparing last year, this year, there's a couple things that stick out in my mind. Number one, the injuries. We've avoided the injuries with the exception of Michael Bond, who's after the season with his knee. We've avoided the Weston was hurt for a few games. But there's been two other elements that we have avoided that you have to be kind of proud of. The untimely penalty and untimely turnover. We seem to have been able to handle those and be mentally in every single game. That's a congratulations on you guys.
Well, thank you. The turnover bug guys right there, Farmington, that one kind of hurt, and we have turned it over. But like you said, the untimely penalty, we've still got penalties, but not untimely ones, and we've still got the turnover once in a while that is not quite as untimely. Of course, it would seem like any turnover to do that. You know, there's another chance to score wasted. But we do talk about those things, you know, just about every week. We have to cut down on penalties. We have to not have penalties that kill drives and that sort of thing. And the last 2 weeks we've done that.
So if we look at Berryville tonight, what do the Buckcats bring to the field? What are you expecting? I know you're going to just do what you guys do. Probably have an opportunity maybe to play a little bit more folks, rest some people. But what do you expect from Berryville?
They've got nothing to lose. You know, long trip over here. As well, go as hard as can. You know, they had lost some starters. They whole backfield after the Huntsville game at the first of this year, and they're getting them back a little time. Last week, I think they got one back, and I'm not sure when the others are back, but he will get better as those returning backfield start.
So as we look into Berryville tonight, what do the Buckcats bring to the field? What are you expecting? I know you're going to just do what you guys do. Probably have an opportunity maybe to play a little bit more folks, rest some people. But what do you expect from Berryville?
They've got nothing to lose. You know, long trip over here. As well, go as hard as can. You know, they had lost some starters. They whole backfield after the Huntsville game at the first of this year, and they're getting them back a little time. Last week, I think they got one back, and I'm not sure when the others are back, but he will get better as those returning backfield start. And I'm not sure when the others are due back, but he will get better as those returning backfield starters return. And I don't know, maybe he's got them all back this week, maybe not. So better not be getting those chickens too quick. Maybe we ought to take care of business like we should. No telling what they've got coming. He's going to run too tight, dead tee sometimes, and throw it out that once in a while. And a lot of tight dead tee or low you sleep and all of a sudden throw one and it's usually a big one for a touchdown. He'll throw quite a bit out of his two tight dead tee. Plus, he'll spread just like everybody else will a little bit more. Two tight throw wing out on the outside. He's got a favorite receiver. Likes to throw most of the time. Likes power pass kind of thing. And that's what they've been doing.
Well, the key words mentioned are nothing to lose, so you can expect everything, including the kitchen sink, to come at you tonight, probably out on the field.
I think so. I think he can do anything that, we got to get something generated here. So let's try these things.
And how do we enter tonight's game with the Tigers mentally, physically, everything like that? How are we looking?
It was looking kind of shaky with Jake call. He hurt his knee in the Shiloh game, and Ed had pulled up a little bit. We gave him some time and some rest this week, so it looks like he's going to be ready to go for tonight. But the mental play aspect looked good so far. As far as the health, we're as healthy as we have been. We've been beat up all year, and we're still a little bit beat up, but we don't have any stars out, so to speak.
All right, looking for a good game tonight. Tiger, Bobcat, appreciate your time, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Since 1957, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
Well, Zach, we got about, probably 10 minutes here before kickoff, and we can talk a little bit about the game tonight. Let's first talk about the Bobcats. Anything there that you've been able to dig up on the Bobcats tonight?
It's been a tough stretch here. They've won 9 games since 2006 when they won 7 games. So it's been kind of a tough stretch. And talking with Coach Daniel a little bit today, and it seems like a team that's in transition. They've got good size. They've got a lot of young players, a lot like Prairie Grove, a lot of sophomores and freshmen. We'll see a lot of time tonight. But it's just been a struggle, a lot of growing pains. It seems like Prairie Grove went through that maybe last year. This year, they're hitting on all cylinders. As far as Prairie Grove goes, we talked about concentration. Keep your focus tonight. I mean, this is a game that you should power through and just get the win. That's the thing. Just get the W and get out of here. I think, and we talked about the effort, we talked about enthusiasm, we talked about their focus. As long as Prairie Grove does that and doesn't get too crazy, we listened to Coach Absher talk about Prairie Grove with a couple of injuries. Jacob Hall's got a sore knee. We've got a couple other guys with some bumps and bruises. But, tonight's one of those nights you hope you can get a quick lead and maybe play some of the younger players.
Absolutely. And that would be a good opportunity tonight to possibly play some younger players. We do have a heavy junior class and a heavy sophomore class that play already, but there are a few key seniors. Daniel Schrock being one, and I want to make sure that we recognize and make sure that we tell everyone who's watching our broadcast tonight to go to PGTigersOnline.com. And if you go to PGTigersOnline.com, make sure that you click on the comment page. Let us know who you are and where you're listening from. And we always like to recognize folks. And
we got lots of good feedback last week from the Shiloh fans.
Absolutely. But Daniel Schrock's aunt is listening tonight, and we appreciate watching tonight. And we appreciate her doing that. And we know we have others. Please let us know where you're watching from. Also, we want to remind everyone tonight that at the end of the ball game, we'll have the Steak and Shake Player of the Game brought to you by Steak and Shake of Fayetteville. Last week's Player of the Game, Dalton Falk. I mean, I went back and watched the game, and, we kept talking about it throughout the contest. But what was interesting is I went back. I think he ended up with 10 tackles last week. He had a key interception. He was all over the place, and great effort not only by Dalton but the entire team last week in that big win against Shiloh.
We saw a young man that in the beginning of the year was struggling out on the corners, and they moved him inside the linebacker, got him lined up on some tight ends, some bigger wide receivers, and he seemed to flourish. I mean, he grew up right in front of our eyes last week, and hopefully he continues to develop and things go as planned. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching everybody get ready for the game, and it's. We were talking about it earlier today. It doesn't have that big game feel until you get here. The lights go on, and it's it's a Friday night in Arkansas. It's high school football. I'm ready to go. I'm excited to watch Prairie Grove and see how they handle success and dealing with expectations. Now, like we said, you handle your business here the next 3 weeks. We've got a conference championship game last week of the season to grab it.
And and I think that's the key is that as fans and as commentators and stuff, we like to think on out there. The players need to focus on this game, get this one down, and next week will be seniors night. It'll be the last home game for these seniors unless they're able to secure a home game for the playoffs, but a big night for them. One other thing, it's been a long time since Berryville's beaten Prairie Grove. Matter of fact, the last time was in 2006 down in Prairie Grove, and that was their last victory. I'm sure that Coach Absher mentioned in the coach's corner they got some players that are starting to come back after injury. It might, they may be back tonight. Could be a different team than say Ozark or Farmington's seen from Berryville so far.
It should be the message from last week should be the message this week. We saw one streak end last week. You'd like to keep these streaks going. And for Prairie Grove, it's really and we talked about it before. It's between the ears. You're probably tonight's one of the few teams that you're way more talented than. But having said that, Berryville can sneak up on you. They've got big playability, and they can get out and cause you some problems if you're not focused. And Prairie Grove, we've seen, this season has been a little inconsistent with the penalties and the turnovers. And you get one turnover or maybe two turnovers, and this could be a really competitive game, more so than you thought when you got off the bus at 5 o'clock.
Absolutely. Well, our looks like they're going to go to the captains on the field, and while we're waiting that, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Following the commercial, we will come back, talk a little bit more, and get ready for the kickoff.
The Bank of Fayetteville, it's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer: checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service. The Bank of Fayetteville, with offices in Fayetteville, West Fork, Farmington, and Prairie Grove. So you're having a fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and flavorable. By the way, that's a brand spanking new word. Well, think Ozark's Delight Lollipops. It's unique, it's fun, and it's highly successful, and a great way to raise some funds and have some fun doing it. Did I mention that it's flavorable? Check out the website, ozarkdelight.com, or call them at 1-800-334-8991. Ozark Delights, America's #1 fundraising lollipop, says, "Go Tigers!"
And here comes the Bobcats.
All right, the Bobcats have now come out on the field, Zach, and one of the things I noticed coming in tonight, Berryville comes in 0-6. They have good fan support. There was a lot of fans here tonight, and a lot of festivities. And just before the game, I think they had a bunch of young cheerleaders out. So that's a good sign of the community that's supporting their team throughout a difficult time.
Yeah, and you know what? Friday night football is always fun. What else are you going to do on a Friday night? There's no place I'd rather be. I do need to say hello to my 3-month-old daughter today.
All right.
Watching her first Tiger game. Hi, Mackenzie.
And here is the Tigers taking the field, and I hope the emotion can get there. I remember last week when they came onto the field, they were jumping all over the place. They come in,
this is a business trip.
Yep.
This is get in, get out, get your win. It'll be interesting to see how Berryville comes out, whether it's going to be wide open. You've got a team with nothing to lose, and it'll be interesting to see this is in essence their bowl game.
Right, absolutely, and they mathematically still in the conference race, and we're 3 games into it. Prairie Grove sitting at 2-1. Berryville 0-3 in the conference. As we come in tonight, again, remind everyone at the end of the game, we'll have the Steak and Shake player of the game. Also at the end of the game, we'll have the stats brought to you by Ozark Delight Candy. We also bring those to you at halftime. Also at halftime tonight, we'll have an East Lab presentation from the high school week in Prairie Grove, and I think it's one that they actually produced for us a couple of weeks ago, and then with some of the technical difficulties we had with the computer, with the hotness of the computer and having to shut it down for halftime, we'll be able to run that tonight. So those who have East Lab students that are watching tonight, the video will be at halftime. We'll go straight to the band. I think the Prairie Grove band will go first, and then we'll go to the East Lab video.
So who's your pick to click tonight? Who's your pick early? Maybe your prediction for the Steak and Shake player of the game? I got John Halbert. I think he's going to take the opening kickoff back. Just a hunch.
Well, it's hard to say. How many carries did Bartholomew have last week? Did he have
19 carries last week
and one
reception?
So he hit his 20 touches.
20.
And that's tend to be your key stat tonight. I would look for him maybe the 10 to 15 tonight,
probably.
because hopefully if Prairie Grove establishes their game, he'll hopefully be able to rest.
Yeah, you'd like to see that offensive line just sort of take over like they did last week and get the rushing total up around 250 yards and put this one away early if they can.
Well, again, we want to remind you, if you're watching tonight, to go to pgtigersonline.com, go to the comments page, let us know where you're watching, who you are. Sometimes people put notes in there and we don't know who they are. Okay, here we go. We got Kay Absher, Go Tigers. We have Echo fellows. That's Henry, who's usually our cameraman. Henry, check your computer. The echo may be you on this one.
I think it's his tin ears.
And now to kick for, it's Selvin Reyes to kick for the Bobcats. Back deep is Halbert. And the kick's going to go to, that's Daniel Schrock that takes it about the 22-yard line. He's going up the left side, and he's going to be tackled just around the 37-yard line. Brought down by number 22 for the Bobcats. That's Ethan Chapin. These numbers from this angle, not the easiest to see tonight. We don't have a spotter with us, so those watching, be patient as we try to name runners and tacklers. Prairie Grove's going to come out in the one back in the backfield.
Interesting. Going to go 3 wide with an H-back.
And you got Murphy out here in the slot, and
there's Jared.
He's wide open. Jared Murphy with the ball at the 40, the 45, 50, and he's knocked out of bounds there. That's number 22. That's Chapin again. Nice pitch and catch there from Cooper to Murphy.
Been calling for that all year long. Just keep throwing it to Big Jared.
Well, they're in Bobcat territory already at the 47-yard line.
Nice way to start the game. Nice easy pass for Cooper. Get him into a rhythm.
16-yard completion. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball, Bobcat 47. Cooper back. He's looking over to the left side of the field.
Careful.
And wow. That's the kind of pass that's dangerous, and could really say that was Addison Cook was probably about a step and a half from taking, because there was nothing between Cook and the end zone.
A lot of green grass in front of him. You got to be careful with those. You can't premeditate where you're going to throw the football. Cooper had stared Landon down the whole way, and you just can't do that on a night like tonight. You got to be sharp. You got to be crisp.
Well, the one thing about that kind of pass, when you're throwing to the wide side of the field, quick out, that's a lot of time.
It's a long throw.
Yep. 2nd down and 10. Now Bartholomew goes in motion. Cooper again going to his left. And he's just going to take off and run. And he's going to get out of bounds. About the 40. Looks like the mark's going to be about the 44, 43-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Good no throw by Cooper. Jared was covered deep. Landon was covered in the flat. Haul it down, pick up what you can, and move on.
Well, they're opening up passing right away. All three. I mean, that was a run, but it was a design pass.
5 wide again.
5 wide. 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers. Cooper just goes right up the middle. And
nice play, nice call.
He sees where he needs to go. You kept seeing him kind of push folks over to the side. And Cooper's going to be inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Wesley Law on the tackle for the Bobcats. Ball's they're going to spot it right at the 25.
Good call on 3rd and long. Quarterback draw. Obviously, you're playing, you're in 4-down territory at this point. And you get what you can. And Cooper on that particular one was a 19-yard gain. Well, spread him out again.
This time he's going to give it to Bartholomew.
Spread option.
Oh, that's Colby Elkins.
Yeah.
And give him 6.
Got a flag down.
Give him 6. That was he faked me out on that one, Zach.
That's a play we haven't seen this year. That's the read option. He read the defensive end. The defensive end crashed down on the running back. He keeps the ball. If he doesn't crash down, you hand it to the running back, and Weston picks up what he can.
Well, that was Colby Elkins, and Colby was the quarterback at Farmington before transferring over.
Yeah, he's kind of their utility man. He does all sorts of things for them.
5-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
One of those nasty penalties we don't like to talk about.
I was just checking out the comment page. Bree Bartholomew says, "Go Tigers." She's watching tonight. Bree is I've known Bree a long time. She went to school with my oldest daughter, and Bree, hello to you tonight. Tell Shelby hello as well. I'm sure he's there with you watching.
A pretty good crowd here from Prairie Grove making the trip over. Long trip over.
Absolutely. 1st down and 15 for the Tigers, and there's Bartholomew. This time he goes right up the middle.
Good run.
He's down to about the 22-yard line, 23.
Tripped up by Wesley Raw and Jacob Park.
Bring up second down and 8 for the Tigers. Elkins goes out.
Second down and 9.
You know, it's interesting they brought in Colby for that. That's something we haven't seen this year.
And that plays into his strength. Colby's a good runner, and I'm sure that there is a play-action pass off of that. But that's a play we haven't seen this year, something that was put in this week to work on with Colby at sort of a wildcat.
10:43 to go here in the first quarter. The first possession of the game for the Tigers. First possession game for anyone. Now, second and 8, and Winters has a man wide open, and that is complete.
It's your man,
Dalton Falk.
Winters pass complete to Dalton Falk.
Falk's tackled there by, Pablo Latoro. But that's good for another Tiger first down. They got the ball inside the 15 to the 14. I like the way Prairie Grove's big. They're trying a lot of things tonight that we haven't seen.
Yeah, they're working on some things. You can always go back and hand the ball to 20 anytime you want. When you need 3, 4, 5 yards, you can always do that. And, this is expanding the offense a little bit. They're a little bit more, a little bit more difficult to defend.
Now to our base offense, and there's your call. The number 20, he stumbled there, but he's going to be hit by a host of Bobcats led by Jerry Valdez. He picks up close to 4 yards on the play there. It didn't look like it was much, but he picked up 4 for Bartholomew. That's his second carry of the game.
He doesn't always, he's not always, doesn't always look like he's getting 4 or 5 yards, but at the end of the run, when he flips the ball to the referee, it's 3, 4, 5 yards. It's just what Weston does. That's why I keep saying, just give him the ball. Eventually, he's going to explode. Now you got him in the slot.
Second down, we'll call a long 6 for the Tigers. Winters, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to take off and run, and nice tackle there.
Gave up on that one too early. I think he felt some pressure that wasn't there. He just gave up on it a little bit early.
Number 62, Caleb Harden on the sack there, and so 3rd and 11 for the Tigers. The Tigers have had a nice drive. This drive started, I believe, was at the 37-yard line, and so now they've gotten inside the red zone and run into a little problem here, but 3rd down and 11 for the Tigers.
I think this is where you're in 4-down territory here.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to look for. I think you got to look for Landon on a quick hitch, or maybe get Weston down the seam.
There. Oh! Pass intended for number 86, Christian Denton. I like what Cooper did there. He looked off, he pumped, and then he had Christian just a little high.
4th down and 11 for the Tigers.
4th and 11 for the Tigers, and here comes Landon Allen in to try a field goal. Again, something good to work on here because kicking game can be critical down the stretch in these last 4 ball games.
Interesting, we didn't see Daniel Schrock carry the ball once on that drive.
I thought there, whenever they went to their base offense, that he was going to take it, and they gave it to Bartholomew around the left side.
I'd imagine we're going to see a heavy dose of that coming up here shortly.
Well, that was an opportunity in that drive. They tried a lot of things we have not seen Colby Elkins, I don't think, all year long in that kind of a wildcat.
No.
Okay, here's that Landon now. It's about a 37-yarder. Landon, the kick is on the way. It's right down the middle. It is, no good. Wow. I don't know if it's our angle, I guess, here. I thought that went right down the middle.
Must be our angle because it looked good for me.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I thought you could say, well, I think it may be your age, Lynn. So I'm glad you didn't say that.
Well, it looks good from over here, but referee says no dice. And good stop for Berryville. Now they're going to get the football, see what they can do.
Well, Allen misses the 37-yarder. Nice kick, though. It looked like he definitely had the distance. 1st and 10 for the Bobcat.
Wow, haven't seen the veer in a long time. That's the old Lou Holtz split veer.
Let's see, that was Murphy in there on the tackle. Murphy, and looks like Sugg also helping out, and Schrock. I didn't catch the number of the ball carrier. He picks up about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Bobcats. Number 19, Cody Powell, is the quarterback for the Bobcats.
2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down 8.
Powell is a sophomore, Zach.
Young football team taking
number
their
22.
Now.
That was number 22, Ethan Chapin. He's going to pick up a couple more yards and to bring up 3rd down and 5. Defensive line kind of swarmed there. Kurtzinger, Call, Sugg. and Landon West also helping out.
Yeah, for Berryville, I think they need to establish the line of scrimmage, see if they can run the football a little bit. And for Prairie Grove, you got to stiffen, you got to shut this down early.
You're right.
Put them third and long, fourth and long is obviously where you want to be. But
I have not seen this split here.
It's been a long time, a full house backfield. This is just, you don't see it very much.
And that was Elkins, and looks like
Tyler Coatney, the ball carrier.
number 16, Tyler Coatney on the carry. It's going to be 4th down and about a yard and a half. Schrock and Elkins on the tackle.
For the Bobcats.
This is bold if they go here.
Why not?
Like you said, they don't have much to lose.
No,
So
why not?
could be a quick kick, too. I don't know who's their punter. No, he's going right up under center. So this is
power football at its finest.
Oh, he didn't make it.
I don't think so.
Wow, there was a host of Tigers. That was Murphy trying to get all of them. Murphy and Call, Sugg, they all are in there.
Tough to make a living in the middle of that Prairie Grove defense.
Wow, going for it this early in the game.
Hey, you know what? When you're 0-6, that's a way to build confidence. If you get the first down, I mean they were gaining yards running those plays off tackle. They were getting some yardage, and they decided to go right up the middle with the fullback, and our boys were right there to stuff it.
Well, Prairie Grove takes over where they left last time. The ball right at the 25-yard line. Cooper Winters, and there is Bartholomew, and he's hit initially there by number 62, Harden. But then,
give Berryville some credit here. They're playing hard. I think we've sort of settled into the idea that this is just an automatic for Prairie Grove. But Prairie Grove's got to get it going here. You've got again, like we've talked about the last couple of weeks, an opportunity here. You drove down the field, you missed the field goal. Okay, that happens. But now you get the ball back on the 26-yard line. You need to put 7 points on the board here.
Absolutely, because what happens in stuff like in a game like this, regardless of sports, let's go ahead and watch the play here. There's Schrock, like you mentioned. Schrock goes, he may score here. He's inside the 5. He's down to about the 3-yard line. You said we didn't see him at all last time. He gets his first carry. He goes about 22 yards. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 4. So a 21-yard run, and Prairie Grove's first and goal from the 4. When you're in a game like this, the longer a team that's not expected to win stays in the game, the confidence builds.
Yeah,
so
you got to put them away early.
So you've got the opportunity here. Let's get it in the end zone this time.
As was pointed out last week, I'm not an offensive coordinator, but that play works. A couple more of those would be great.
Well, it's first down. Remind you for watching, go to the...
There's Schrock, touchdown.
Give him 6, touchdown.
Schrock, the ball carrier for the Tiger touchdown.
And the Tigers strike first after Berryville stopped on a 4th down inside their own 30, and Prairie Grove takes over and marches in, I guess that was 3 plays, 26 yards, and Prairie Grove strikes first. Well, we've got Marianne Savage listening. Let's go ahead watch the extra point here. We'll comment after that. Kick is down, it's in the air, and I'm not going to say until that one's good. So with 5:51 to go here in the first half, the score is the Prairie Grove Tigers 7, the Berryville Bobcats 0. Let's go to a quick commercial, and we'll be back right after that.
Every lady remembers that first rose, that first dozen roses, the corsage from the prom, and those memories are made even sweeter from Flowers & Friends in Prairie Grove. Flowers & Friends specializes in fresh and silk flower arrangements for all occasions, from weddings, parties to proms and more, even Decoration Day. Flowers & Friends can create a lasting memory. Flowers & Friends, friendly service and satisfaction is guaranteed. 846-2137. Flowers & Friends, flowers, gift, and more with a hometown touch in downtown Prairie Grove. Every lady remembers that first rose, that first dozen roses, the corsage from the prom, and first rose, that first dozen roses, the corsage from the prom, and those memories are made even sweeter from first rose, that first dozen roses, the corsage from the prom, and those memories are made even sweeter from flowers.
Hi guys. Okay, we're back to the action here. Prairie Grove leading 7-0, and the kick by Landon Allen. It's going to be fumbled there. That's number 24, Addison Cook. Cook brings it over the 15 to about the 16. He'll get close to the 20-yard line. Several Tigers in there. Christian Denton, Landon Allen, the kicker, actually down there helping make the tackle. Dalton Falk. Looks like Nick Sugg as well.
Sugg and number 16, Dalton Falk, on the tackle for the Tigers in the 1st and 10 Bobcats at the 20-yard line.
Prairie Grove leading 7-0, 5:44 to go here in the first quarter. I mentioned earlier Marianne Cook watching tonight, also our PA guy, Jake McBride, and he reminds us that we can get in trouble when we second guess the opposing coaches. Kind of making a reference to last week. First down, that is around the end, number 22.
Ethan Chapin, the ball.
Chapin.
Takes the ball up to the 34-yard
Call,
line.
Sugg, and Halbert all in on the tackle. I'm saying Call and Sugg a lot tonight, along with Murphy, so these guys are doing a good job there on the front. Second down and 7 to go for the Bobcats. Mary Ann's listening down in West Helena. Mary Ann likes to see the cheerleaders. Kelby Brown is, there is number 22. That is, again, Chapin, and he picks up the first down for the Bobcats.
Prairie Grove's starting to cram everybody down in the box. I don't think Berryville's going to be able to open it up and throw the ball as much as you like. But what happens when you cram everybody into the box is if you get somebody loose, it turns into a big game.
Halbert on the tackle, pushing Chapin out of bounds, and that's going to give them 1st and 10, ball at their own 33. 4:56 to go in the first quarter. I thought Chapin had it. He was the second man through. It looks like they gave it to the first man. Number 81, Dalton Jacobs. Don't see an 81 in the backfield very often.
Nope. I knew I hadn't seen this offense in a long time. I was watching the 1969 Oklahoma-Texas game today. The offense they were running. And for a team that may be undersized, maybe a little less talented, it's a simple offense. And if you can make it work, you can be very frustrating, as we saw when Prairie Grove played Ozark.
And there's number 16, Colby Elkins, and they're going to get him for. That was Tyler Coatney. I want to hear what the flag is. I didn't think they had horse. Oh, did he call him for face mask? And
yeah, he got up around the headgear. And the ref here on the side, just here on the sideline, saw it immediately.
They're talking about it a long time, whatever his call is.
Personal foul, face mask, good.
Elkins did come up to tackle high there, got him around the head, and that's 15-yard penalty. After a nice run by Coatney, that 15-yard penalty is going to put the ball in Prairie Grove territory at the 40, let's call it the 47-yard line. So first down and 10, and the Bobcats are in Tiger territory for the first time tonight.
Life against these are the kinds of things you need to eliminate in a game like this. You hold them to a nice 3 or 4 yard game, but then you tack on 15 penalty.
They're going to get them. One of the things that I noticed they're doing, they set, then they put down, they go to the 3-point stand, and I remember that was something you saw a lot back when this kind of offense was run.
Lou Holmes there. Did they make contact?
I don't think they made contact, but they called the offsides, and it's 5 more yards of penalties against the Tigers. We talked about concentration tonight. You have to concentrate.
3 penalties, 27 yards here, first quarter.
Zach, look across the way at the at the 10-yard marker. That's about a 6-yard penalty.
About a 6.5-yard penalty.
Bobcats first and 5. Oh, boy. Cody Powell's pass broken up by Dalton Falk. It was intended for Jacobs. 2nd down and 5 for the Bobcats.
2nd down and 5 for the Bobcats.
And they moved the ball back a half yard. So 2nd down and 5 for Berryville. Murphy hits very quickly. Chapin gets down to about the 40-yard line. So we got 3rd down and let's call it third and 3.
Prairie Grove's got to be careful here. Out of the veer, there's an option off the veer. You run a straight line veer where one of the halfbacks dives straight into the line. The quarterback reads the defensive end. If he crashes down on the quarterback, he can keep the ball. And right now, Prairie Grove is crashing down on the halfback. You've got to be careful. The quarterback will pull that ball out. Powell will pull it out. He's around the end for 5, 10, 15 yards.
They've just been running right power football, and there is Chapin again. Chapin's going to be, I think he's got the 1st down there. And there's Kurtzinger, see him there on the tackle, as well as that's Trenton Southern. They may measure here. I'm sure he'll go for it if he didn't make it. He went for it at his own 25. So. He's going to go for it here. 2 minutes 51 seconds to go here in the first quarter. They are bringing in for measure. It looks from here that he got it, but of course I thought the field goal was good a while ago. Oh, he made it by length of the football, and another 1st down for the Bobcats. 1st down and 10 at the Prairie Grove 37-yard line, and Berryville's got a nice drive for them.
Yeah, they do. And again, we talked about it in the opener. You got to put this kind of thing away early. You don't want them hanging around.
Henry, our camera guy, who makes it no secret he's a big Alabama fan, reminded me that 1973, the fullback Wilbur Jackson, number 80. So we got 81 tonight. Jacob in the backfield.
Remember Wilbur Jackson, just a little bit.
1st down and 10 for Bobcats. And there's Coatney. He's going to be hit there. Murphy, Elkins, and I want to say that was, you can't see that number there. It's Noah Hunter. Is that Hunter?
Yeah, that was Noah Hunter.
Yep.
Fell forward for 3 yards, and Prairie Grove's substituting pretty liberally right now. I mean, this is just straight power football. They're just running. These are off-tackle dives. This is what we saw Ozark do. I think 5, 10, 15 times in a row.
And then they opened, and then they came back the next time. Yep. And that was the one thing about Ozark's offense is they could pass, they could throw, and they could line up in various formations. Split backfield this time, and it's going to be Chapin. Chapin's going to go right at Prairie Grove, and he's going to be close to another 1st down. I think his forward progress is going to get him close to it. Albert, Paul, Southern, all in there on the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down, and, well, no, they're going to measure again.
I think he's got it.
No, he's calling it 1st down for the Bobcats. And this Bobcat drive, if I remember, started at about their own 17-yard line.
Very impressive. They've been helped a little bit by a 15-yard face mask, but I mean, give them credit. I mean, they're in here, they're fighting, they're still in the ball game. You know, one score here, one mistake on Prairie Grove's part. We could have a 4th quarter nail biter again.
Well, we've got a minute and 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Prairie Grove leading 7-0. Looks like the quarterback Powell checked off there.
We're going to delay a game.
Flag on the play.
And that's one thing. We haven't seen them go to the air yet. And when you have an offense that's running, a primary run offense, and you get these 1st and 15s or 3rd and 8s, it makes it a little more difficult. So
you want a ground offense behind the sticks for sure. They've attempted one pass. It was knocked down by Dalton.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Remind you, if you're watching, please go to pgtigersonline.com, go to the comment page, let us know where you're watching from tonight. 1st and 15 for the Bobcats, down to a minute to go here in the first quarter. There's a ball carrier I don't think we've seen tonight, number 24. That's Addison Cook. Yeah, we have seen him tonight.
On the left side. Give them credit. They're banging away and they're moving Prairie Grove around. That's something that we didn't see last week. Shiloh couldn't move around last week, but Berryville's come out and they just lined up and said, hey, here we are. We're going to try and move you.
Well, that was a 5-yard pickup, or right close to a 5-yard pickup. Luke Johnson in the ball game, making the tackle along with Drew Sugg. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Then you have Cook and Chapin in the backfield. Powell at quarterback. And he's hitting the backfield. That's Cook hitting the backfield. Looks like that was Landon West who hits him first. He's going to lose probably about a yard on the play. So we bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Bobcats. 3-2, and that's the end of our first quarter. And after 1 quarter of play, our score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 7, Berryville Bobcats 0.
There's been a Davis at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove. The counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His at the counter of Sterling Drugs since before most of us were born. As a matter of fact, Sterling Drugs been at the same location in Prairie Grove since 1918. And while a lot has changed in the medical field, quality customer care is not one of them at Sterling Drug. You'll find the latest in all prescriptions explained to you by Gary Davis. He's been doing it for nearly 30 years. As a matter of fact, Gary's only going to charge you for the medication. His experience, he's going to throw that in for free. Keeping you healthy since 1918. Sterling Drug, 125 East Buchanan in Prairie Grove. Proud sponsors of Prairie Grove Athletics.
Okay, back to the action. We get ready to start the second quarter. 3rd down 11 with the Bobcats with the ball at the Prairie Grove about 29-yard line. And handoff there, that's Chapin. He's going to be down to about the 27. Southern and Kurtzinger in on the tackle. Murphy also coming out to help. Going to bring up 4th down and 9.
This is certainly where you want to keep Berryville in these 3rd and 4th and longs, because throwing the football is not exactly what they do well. And as we saw last week, Prairie Grove can get a pretty good pass rush. I wonder if we'll see the corner blitzes that we saw from Dalton Falk and John Halbert last week. Got away.
Powell, he's going to be close to the 1st down. I think he got it, Zach. Yeah, they're going to measure again.
He looked for his tight end on one of those little pop passes, and there was nobody there, so he took it, tucked it, and ran, and picked up the 1st down. First and 10 for Berryville on the 17-yard line. Not in that split back formation, which has been highly effective to this point. It's Addison Cook off the left side. He'll get about 7 yards now, about the 15-yard line. Another good, strong play by Berryville. About a 2nd and 4 for Berryville. shaping up the middle, pushing the pile. Gonna be real close to the first down. Get down to about the 8-yard line and bring up a 3rd and 2.
Made it 2 on the play on the 3rd down 1.
That's sort of causing an echo, Lynn. You take it out.
Third and about 2 for Berryville. Line up in the T formation. That's Cook. He is close to the first down. Let's see where the referee spots it. Looks like it's going to be 4th and just a couple of inches. 4th and about an inch for Berryville. And Landon West jumps offside.
Flag on the play.
Dead ball. Offside. On the defense. Pass the distance to the goal. First down.
Ball's on the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Wildcats.
It'll be 1st and goal for Berryville. There's Chapin into the end zone. Touchdown, Berryville.
Touchdown, Wildcats.
Zach, we talked about tonight that you got to be careful in a game like this, and so with that march down the field, I think that was an 83-yard drive, and I know there was a couple penalties, maybe 3 or 4 penalties along the way, but with this extra point, this is Reyes in to try.
Yeah, a couple of focus plays on that, and I'm sure Coach Apsher will get their attention here and when they go over to the sidelines.
I think that's off to the left. Nope.
One of these days we're gonna get your eyes checked.
Well, with 8:51 remaining, the score is Prairie Grove 7, Berryville 7.
Where in Prairie Grove can you go to get your gas, grab a tank of propane, a bag of ice, your favorite snack, and a soda drink, have your breakfast or lunch prepared fresh, made to order, wash that down with your favorite drink, and follow that with a hand-dipped ice cream? There's only one place that I know of that comes close to all of that in Prairie Grove. Locally owned and operated, it has to be Frederick's One Stop. And did I mention the coffee breaks in the afternoon where all the world's problems are solved? Only at Frederick's One Stop. Proud to be sponsors of Prairie Grove Tiger Athletics.
Okay, I think we got all the background noise out of that, and that was a microphone off of the camera there. That
so it wasn't Henry's ears as we previously thought.
No, we'll cut him some slack. First down and 10 for. No. Henry did a comment online. Schrock on the carry gets up to about the 25-yard line. Hard run there by Daniel.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Prairie Grove buckle down here, and you can get back to what they do.
Tonight, Steve Halbert, our cameraman, and appreciate him being here tonight. Second down and 6, or second and 5 for the Tigers. Ball's out to the 25. The one play you missed was the kickoff, which was out of the end zone, so the
good
Tigers
strong
had
kick
to
from Reyes.
4 wide here for Cooper Winters. He looks, throws, and that is complete to Christian Denton. He's over the 30. Looks like they were marking about the 31-yard line. First and 10 for Prairie Grove. You know, I'm sure those getting score updates in the conference are seeing 7-7 in the second quarter and have their eyes wide open. First and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 31-yard line. Quick pitch out to Bartholomew. Bartholomew around the right side. He's going to be knocked out of bounds close to the 40-yard line. Depends on where they spot that.
Looks like they give him about the 37.
Looks like they're getting
maybe a little bit closer than that.
39-yard line looks like. So it's going to be second down and 3, third and 3 for the Tigers. That should be second down and 3.
It's second and 3.
They've got it incorrect on the scoreboard. Second down and 3. Winters rolling to his left. He looks. He's going to tuck it and run, and he's going to be hit there. Nice tackle by number 31, Wesley Waugh.
Give Berryville a lot of credit. It's hard when you're 0-6, but they are coming out. They're playing. They're flying around the football, and they're giving Prairie Grove everything they can handle right now, and Prairie Grove is yet to respond to it.
Well, with 7:15 to go here in the first half, it's Prairie Grove 7, Berryville 7, and I think Tigers kind of thought they were going to just lay down for them, and they are not doing that at all tonight. I backfield here. There's Bartholomew again. He fumbles the football, and I believe Berryville, Bartholomew may have gotten it back. Clock's still running here. It's going to be fourth down, and Prairie Grove going to probably punt here.
We talked about it in the pregame, focus, and you're talking about a team with 5 penalties in a quarter and 2 minutes. We've now got a fumble. It's you need to get yourself focused here, and you need to get yourself back on that, play with that edge that you had last week.
Well, Winters is going to punt. Back deep is Chapin for the Bobcats, and the Bobcats have to be feeling good, and there's a nice high punt by Cooper Winters. Chapin's going to let it drop, and it's going to take a Prairie Grove bounce. Going to go out right about the 17-yard line. 16 looks like where they're going to mark it. So with 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the second quarter, Berryville starts where they started their last drive, right around their own 16, 17-yard line. And their crowd is feeling good out here right now.
And they should. This team's playing hard. They've got nothing to lose here. And I think in watching this team, they're going to beat somebody. We hope it's not tonight, but they're eventually going to beat somebody because they look to be well coached. They're not making a lot of mistakes. They're not turning the football over. It's just how long can they stay in the game here, or how long will Prairie Grove let them stay in the game?
They're running nothing fancy, just straight power football. Yep. And there's Chapin. He's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage that's Jared Murphy, and I believe that's Drew Sugg. Well, he's going to pick up about a yard.
We'd like to see a turnover here, get some of that energy back that we had on that the first 2 drives of the game. Since then, they haven't really done much.
We talked about this at the onset that you've got to play with a little enthusiasm. It's tough. You've had 2 big wins back to back, and now you're in a dogfight that you probably didn't anticipate with 5 minutes to go here in the first half. And wow, hit immediately in the backfield. That's number 16 that was on the carry, Coatney, and I did not see who hit him there. Murphy. Looks like also helping out on that tackle was number 14, Brandon Notier, and Drew Sugg, all those front linemen in there on that tackle.
I think if you're Berryville at this point, you could draw this up any better. You're 5 minutes to go in the second half. You've run more plays. You've controlled the ball. You're tied. This is where you want to be.
Well, it's 3rd down and 10. They haven't thrown the ball much tonight. We've seen Powell in this situation, 3rd and long, keep it. This time he's going back, and he was hit there by Sugg. Now he's got a little and now he just throws it up for grabs. It was intended for Colin Skatern, and John Halbert breaks up the pass. That was kind of probably a little bit of a sophomore where you just throw it up for grabs. That's one that
throw out of bounds.
Make sure it's going to get out of bounds. And maybe he was trying because he was kind of off his back foot when he did it. Powell's also the punter here for. Well, no, I'm sorry. Is that 19 or 15 there, Zach?
You know my eyes aren't any better than yours. That's 19.
19 is Powell, the quarterback, is also the punter, very similar to Prairie Grove. Back deep is Halbert and Bartholomew for the Tigers. Tigers should get good field position. Halbert is going to field it, and nice block. Oh, they're going to
get a legal block in the back.
And Halbert gets down to the 20. Nice return. I don't know which one he decided to call it on. There were 2 of them there. I thought the first one was a pretty decent block. The second one may have been in the back, but they're going to back it up regardless. And
like John Madden said, on punt returns, block in the back, it's like red snapper. It's on every menu. There it is.
Well, where Prairie Grove was going to get the ball at midfield, they're now going to get it at their own 39-yard line. So, well, that was if you think about the return, that was a 40-yard penalty because Prairie Grove would have taken over at the Bobcat 20. Instead, they take over at their own 39. 4 minutes, 34 seconds to go in the first half. Ball game tied. Tigers 7, Bobcats 7. We'll remind you at halftime we'll have the band, the Prairie Grove band. We'll webcast that, and then we'll go to the East Lab this week in Prairie Grove. Winters rolls to his right. There is Daniel Schrock out of the backfield, and Schrock, nice reception. He's over the 50 into Bobcat territory to about the 49.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Daniel's first reception of the year.
We've seen a few things that we haven't seen tonight. That reception there by Schrock, as well as the Colby Elkins at quarterback.
Yeah, they've come out a little bit more diverse, but I think with 4:22 to go here in the first half, I think they need to get back to basics and get control of the game before this thing gets a little bit more interesting than we'd like.
4:12 to go here in the first half. Prairie Grove on the march. And Bartholomew just kind of stumbled there. It looked like he slipped as he was going to make a cut. He's going to lose a yard on the play, maybe back to right to the midfield stripe. So it's going to be 2nd down 11.
Yeah, Weston 6 carries, 19 yards to this point. We just haven't seen the explosion that we're used to seeing. I'd imagine we're probably going to see Mr. Schrock, the Moose, carry the ball right up the middle on this one.
We have Richard and Judy Johnson watching Luke tonight. But that was Bartholomew again, and this time he's going to get down about the 45. He's tackled there. That was Chapin. Also helping out number 62, Caleb Harden. Jacob Parks also helping out for the Bobcats. It's going to be 3rd down and 7, and we're down to the 3-minute mark. And
we're at a critical juncture here. Berryville's going to get the ball to start the second half. You know, you want to either kill the rest of this clock and put some points on the board. I don't think you want to give them the ball here.
Prairie Grove rolls to his left, or Winters rolls to his left. He completes it to Christian Denton down to the 35. Tackle made there by Pablo Vitoro. Maybe you pronounce that Vellatoro for the Bobcats.
You know, Berryville's playing a 5-man defensive line. You wonder how long Prairie Grove's going to continue to just run the ball until they get to the point where they feel like they can throw the ball past them. I mean, they're not getting much of a pass rush on Cooper, but they are rushing 5, which only leaves 6 guys in the defensive backfield. And as we've seen, you know, John Halbert can get deep, Christian Denton can get deep, Dalton Falk can get deep. Then they're slipping Schrock out into the flats now. There's Landon. He's open.
It's up for grabs. Oh, that was Dalton Falk, the intended receiver. Cooper kind of threw that off his back foot that time.
Yeah, he missed Landon right off the snap. He had him out in the flat and decided to go deep to Dalton. That worked last week a couple of times.
Villatoro on the coverage there for the Bobcats. The incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:37 to go in the first half. Tie ball game, Prairie Grove 7, Berryville 7.
Villatoro was on the bench there for the Bobcats. Pass intended for Dalton Falk. Second down 10.
Second and 10 for the Tigers.
You got to look here for the out and up.
Well, they're going to go to Schrock right up the middle, and
that's never a bad call.
Schrock, how many carries he have tonight, Zach?
That'd be his fourth carry.
He picks up 5 yards there, and going to bring up third and a long 5.
It's going to give him 35 yards on 4 carries.
Wow. They have seemed to have success. Cooper up the middle, Schrock up the middle, and when Weston hasn't stumbled, and that's been well up the middle as well.
Yep,
so
bringing in Noah Hunter now. Let's see what Coach Absher has dialed up here.
Well, you'll think back to the first drive. Prairie Grove drove down, tried the field goal, didn't make it on, and now 3rd down and 5, and there is the
that wingback reverse.
And so many teams have seen that from Prairie Grove for a long time. Looks like there was a fumble, but I see the ref saying he was down. The ball gets inside the 30 to about the 29, and so it's 4th down and 4 to go for the Tigers. 1 minute, 36 seconds. Prairie Grove has all their timeouts, so I imagine if they get the first here, they'll utilize those. Fourth down and 4. This is a critical play here because, as you mentioned, Berryville gets the ball to start the second half. 4 wide. Pass intended for Murphy and intercepted at the 18-yard line, 19-yard line. That's intercepted by Selvin Reyes, the kicker, who's back there playing deep. And Berryville has to be feeling really good right now about how they're playing tonight.
Just lack of concentration. That ball hit Jared right in the hands. You've got to make that catch, especially on 4th and 4.
Well, this is one of those games that I imagine Coach Absher will have a few words to say at halftime.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's going to be pretty enthusiastic in the locker room. Just a hunch.
And Kay, we know you're watching, so forgive us for that, but we know he's going to be excited in that locker room here in a bit. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go here.
That's the option dive off of that. Prairie Grove played it well.
1 minute to go in the first half, and Berryville has played a very good first half. Got the ball at their own 21-yard line. No, I'm not sure here, but if they don't get anything, you may want to think about using a timeout, or whether they played first half, probably just let it run on out.
I don't know. I think you'd like to give Cooper at least one more shot here, but looks like they're going to be content to just take it into halftime.
It may be, and see what they do here on 3rd. If they don't go anywhere here, now you may want to think about using it. You got 29 seconds. 3rd down. Clock still, and now they are going to use a timeout. Timeout Prairie Grove, I believe. 24 seconds to go, and Prairie Grove is going to call the timeout.
You know, looking at the numbers here for the first half, I mean, Prairie Grove, 131 total yards. I mean, when was the last time we saw that? Just a low number for them, 65 yards, but 25 plays each way. I think Berryville's doing exactly what they wanted to do, which is control the clock, control the game, slow everything down, and let's get it into the second half. I don't know that Berryville's been in this situation here. You're playing a good football team in Prairie Grove, and you're going to take it to halftime. And as long as nothing strange here happens at the end of the first half, you're going to go in a tie ball game. You're playing 24 minutes. You get your first win of the season. Absolutely. In their first game of the year, they played Yellville Summit, and they lost 13-7. So they were in a close game. They're a 3A school in the 3A1. They play against West Fork, Elkins, and Lincoln. I think most of the time, and Berryville played a good game then, and then following that, they've had, no disrespect to Berryville at all, they've had blowouts. But tonight, as I watch them tonight, I don't quite see that. I'm surprised that we've played Farmington and we've played Ozark, some of the teams that have played them already, and I don't see they look like a pretty decent football team. Yeah, they look like they're fundamentally sound, few penalties, no turnovers. That's a formula for success. I don't care what league you play in. Well, now they're going to look and they're going to throw, and they've got a man open, and it's complete.
That's Jacobs out of the backfield. Dalton Jacobs, Powell, he's hit. He was hit hard, and he's slow to get up. Is the quarterback Cody Powell? He does get up. Well, Prairie Grove called the timeout, thinking that maybe they could get the ball back, and then nice play action there by the Bobcats.
And now if you're the Bobcats, you got to be thinking about maybe using one of those timeouts, try to get yourself into maybe field goal range. Reyes seems to have a pretty good leg on him.
You got to think about it because you're right. Reyes, he's kicked the ball off well. He's got a good leg. If he does kick it, I will not try to say whether it's good or not until I see the refs do that or make the call. Well, they let it run on out. Well, it's halftime, and at halftime, our score is the Prairie Grove Tigers 7, the Berryville Bobcats 7, and I think there's a lot of surprised folks that are going through the internet right now going, you see this score, do you see this score? Well, the Prairie Grove cheerleaders are going to come out, and Steve will watch the cheerleaders here, and then following the cheerleaders, we'll have the band. It'll be Berryville will have their cheerleaders out. We'll let you watch the cheerleaders out on the field. Looks like they're going to face the Prairie Grove crowd, or they're going to come over here to Berryville. If you're watching the cheerleaders here at halftime, it's hard to get any sound from this side as they face the other side, but also the band will be coming out soon. I know the band went to competition this week, Zach, and I'm not sure what all awards they won, but I know that their halftime part, the solo there, won best solo. I know I spoke with Hiram Erdman the other day and congratulated him on that. So we see that every week, and they do a good job.
As you know, I'm a huge Billy Preston fan, and if you haven't, he was, I guess, the sixth Beatle with Pete Best. You know, I love my Beatles and my Billy Preston.
Well, these are the Berryville cheerleaders as we'll stay here for just a moment. And following this, the Prairie Grove band will come out. After the Prairie Grove band tonight, we will go to This Week in Prairie Grove by the East Lab. Okay. Well, here comes the Prairie Grove band, and what I think I'm going to try to do here for the band time tonight is I'm going to see if I can get my headphones out there to get a little sound. And Farmington 12. I mean, you're at 12 nothing. Farmington lead? Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's who they're playing tonight, isn't it? Yeah. Because Shiloh Shiloh's playing, I'll find out. Shiloh Gentry, 21-14, Shiloh Gentry. So we're here, that means P. Ridge is at Ozark. Ozark took 21 nothing. I'll read the scores off from the map real quick. Probably to turn you up. That's the guy from Shiloh, I guess, what you said about him. See, it says now I'm connected. Try to go to that Berryville one again. Oh, I'm connected. That's the Berryville one. Try to that Berryville. Oh, he won't let me. I'll just try to give me some sort of error message. Give you an error or just say you need a password? Because I got the password. No, it says it gives me an error message. It says it's out of range or something like that. Wow, that's weird. Yeah, I mean, this thing's saying I'm connected. Strength good. I don't know. Well, there's the Prairie Grove Band. Great halftime show tonight. And just before we go to the Eastern, I want to give a few scores, probably give these again. Farmington leading Rabbit 12-0 with about 30 seconds to go in the half. Ozark is leading P. Ridge. As a background here, that's why I'm going here. Just 1 second. Get back to these scores. Prairie Grove 7-7 here at halftime with Berryville, but Farmington leads Gravett 12-0, 30 seconds to go. Ozark leading P. Ridge 21-0, and Shiloh beating Gentry 21-14.
A couple of things break right tonight, boy. The 1-4A could be turned upside down. And we thought things would pretty much conform to what they have to this point, but a couple of upsets tonight, and this could get really, really interesting.
Well, the thing is, if Farmington should hold on tonight to Gravett, then that would literally, if Prairie Grove can make, right now nothing's guaranteed, but if they can make that run, that would definitely be for the conference. Well, then again, I say that.
Ozark
would tie Prairie Grove and would take the one spot because they defeat them. So it's almost like we need Gravett to win.
And if you look at the schedules, how everything plays out, the meat of Prairie Grove schedule is behind them. I mean, they've played. We at the beginning of the season we identified the four heavyweights in the 1-4A, and Prairie Grove's played three of them, gone 2-1 against them, and then they've got Gravett at the end of the season. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Farmington and Ozark have the toughest road the rest of the way, and you're going to see some teams knock each other off, and it could get really interesting. But Prairie Grove's going to take care of the business here.
Absolutely, they need to take care of business. We're going to take a quick break and go to the East Labs this week in Prairie Grove. Following that, we'll come back and we'll go over some stats of the first half, and we'll get ready for the second half of play.
popping, all the bitches love me. I'm a 24, I start a roll, all a nigga can't catch me. Green like Bill Bixby, damn I mean Bixby. Stay in 6 feet, my corner in the club is where the chicks be. And the flicks be, popping like the red carpet. That California swag with a little collar posh. Fat air, small waist, little collar posh. Came up to me, came up to me and said, teach me how to dug it, teach me how to dug it. If you really wanna know, then girl, you gotta go to D-Town. Teach me how to dug it, teach me how to dug it. But until then, shawty, check me out now.
Taste me how to dug it, taste me how to dug it. Taste me how to dug it, taste me how to dug it.
Everybody love me, everybody love me, everybody love me. You ain't messing with my Dougie.
Taste me how to dug it, taste me how to dug it. Taste me how to dug it, taste me how to dug it.
Everybody love me.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress. The Bank of Fayetteville, it's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer. Checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service. The Bank of Fayetteville, with offices in Fayetteville, West Fork, Farmington, and Prairie Grove.
Okay, we're back, and Zach, let's talk a little bit about the first half. First half stats.
A couple of things will jump out at you. 76 yards rushing for Prairie Grove to this point. Not what we've seen the last couple of weeks. Big number really for me is number 6. That's the number of penalties in the first half. 6 penalties, 45 yards, and we've talked about it all season long when Prairie Grove turns the ball over, which they've done once, and they commit their penalties. Prairie Grove, can play down and keep other teams in the game. And no disrespect to Berryville, but Prairie Grove just hasn't gotten it going yet. I mean, I think Berryville's playing about as well as they can right now. And if they can manufacture a drive here to start the second half, it could get really, really interesting. And Prairie Grove just looks like they're kind of going through the motions. And I'm sure that the halftime speech was somewhat animated. I'm just taking a wild stab at it. But let's take it from Berryville's perspective for a second. You go into halftime, you're jumping up and down. It's like, boys, we got ourselves a football game here. It's 24 minutes, and we've got to win against a very good team. For Prairie Grove, you don't want to get those seeds of doubt here, but somebody's got to light a fire under somebody,
right?
And start. And in particular, I think it's got to start with the offensive line.
Well, I think one of the things that is interesting with Berryville is they've probably gone at halftime this year with guys, hold your head up. Mm-hmm. Tonight, he's in there saying we can win this football game.
Got a football game, and there's no question about it. And they're somewhat limited offensively, and we've talked about it. I mean, if you're going to run the veer, you're not going to throw the ball around a great deal. If you're going to run with a full house backfield, you're not going to move the ball through the air a whole lot. They completed one long pass. It was a 21-yard run or 21-yard play here at the end of the first half. But other than that, there really hasn't been a lot of spark from that Berryville offense. I'll tell you who's the best unit on the field at this point. Berryville's defense. I mean, this is an explosive Prairie Grove offense, and Berryville's defense is physical. They're playing a 5-man front. They're taking the running game away from Prairie Grove and making Prairie Grove do things that they're not necessarily real comfortable doing, which is throwing the ball down the field.
Well, Prairie Grove, if you think about the first drive, drove down, got down to around the 20-18, kind of stumbled with a penalty there or something, I think, and brought it back, and then we missed the field goal. So we had a nice drive there. The next time we got the ball, they went for it on fourth down at their own 25, and we scored. Looking back now, that was a big play.
Yeah, it is, and Prairie Grove is doing things right now, for the first 2 quarters of the game anyway, that would lead you to believe this game is going to be a lot closer than I think anybody here in the press box thought it would be. You've got turnovers, you've got penalties, you've got missed field goals, missed opportunities, and Berryville, while they haven't taken advantage of everything, has kept everything in front of them. They've got 2 quarters in front of them to play, and they've got to be just enthusiastic about getting this Prairie Grove team. It was 4-2, 2-1 in the conference, coming off a couple of big wins. They've got to be looking around, going, boys, this is doable.
Well, Berryville gets the ball to start the second half, and the key here, I think, goes back to what we said at the very beginning. You have to, at this point, you have to be focused. You have to do the things that you're supposed to do. And you said earlier in the game, this is a business trip. Well, they haven't taken care of business so far.
Exactly, and I think I think the halftime speech is going to take care of a lot of that here. I think you're going to see a different team come out here to start the second half, and hopefully they'll get the ground game going. But first order of business is you got to get the ball back from a Berryville offense that's done a nice job keeping it away from you.
Well, I think one of the things also in a game like this is that when you are within a score, any given play, a fumble, recovery, an interception, a penalty, it can change the game. And so, as Prairie Grove, as we talked about, no disrespect at all, they should be able to, establish themselves, get a couple of touchdown leads, and then it's a little bit different. But right now, they've got to worry about just winning this football game.
And it's win by 1, win by 100, get out of here with a W. We talked about that earlier, and just looking at Berryville, they're real. They're not the biggest, not the fastest, but I'll tell you what, they're playing with their hearts on their sleeves, and they're playing a great football game to this point. And as we're watching Prairie Grove here get stretched out to start the second half, somebody needs to do something. To get those juices flowing. We talked about it: energy, enthusiasm, and execution. And to this point, the team that's doing that a little bit better right now is Berryville.
Just in case some of you are just coming back and stepped away a little bit during halftime, we want to just some scores that we've heard is that Farmington at half leading Gravett 12-0. Also, Ozark leading P Ridge 21-0, and lastly, Shiloh was leading Gentry 21-14 in the second quarter. So,
is this Separation Saturday, as they call it, on College Game Day? It's it's going to be one of those crazy nights, and it starts here. These are the games you worry about. We said trap game.
Well, look at that moon. That is a beautiful moon up there tonight.
I just happened to notice that as I was looking at the scoreboard. The moon, full moon. That's there you go.
Well, we're going to take one more commercial break before we start the second half. This is Prairie Grove Tiger football.
Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small. Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite, Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite flavors, we're here to help. Click our website, ozarkdelight.com, or call us toll-free at 1-800-334-8991.
Okay, as we get ready to start the second half, Prairie Grove will be kicking to the Bobcats. So Bobcats will have the ball with the opportunity to take the lead. Zach, at half, I went through and looked at some of the comments on the comment page, and the big comments from everyone was what that halftime speech was going to be like, and we heard everything from buck chewing to it's not going to be pleasant, and
my guess is it's probably going to sound a lot like Morse code. Beep 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 beep. just a hunch. I'm sure it wasn't the most pleasant of conversations, but somebody just needs to light a fire under somebody. Somebody on the Prairie Grove team needs to make a big hit, make a fumble recovery, cause a turnover, and then you punch it in the end zone and everything gets right again. But somebody needs to make a play here.
Well, we've heard from several people. Kay Abshersell and the boys come out and go after it, and then Troy Kurtzinger, I believe that's who that might be. Troy Kurt says everything's good, and as far as the camera work, we kind of got a funny angle tonight, Troy, and we're doing the best we can. He says it's a little fuzzy, Steve, so I don't know if there's any way that you can get that picture any clearer. And that ball is taken there. That is Cook, and Cook is hit at the 10, and Nick Sugg finishes them off. First hit by Dalton Falk. They're going to give him a forward progress to the 13-yard line. And, the thing that's interesting tonight is Berryville has not had good field position to start at all.
They really haven't, but they're playing things so close to the vest right now. They're not making mistakes. They're letting Prairie Grove make the mistakes, and that's what's keeping Berryville in the game. I mean, they have 86 yards of total offense to this point on 26 plays. So what they're doing is they're holding, they're keeping possession of the football, keeping it away from Prairie Grove, and not making mistakes.
Well, the Bobcats going to start their own 13 to begin the second half.
Big hole.
That is a big hole. That's Chapin. Chapin carries. He took Colby Elkins probably 6 yards, and that's a first down. That's a 16-yard carry for the Bobcats, and they are playing to win this football game.
They really are, and they're not running anything terribly complex. This is just off tackle right, off tackle left. They've tried a couple of dives up the middle. Those haven't worked necessarily, but there's some gaps there on the outside, and they're certainly taking advantage of it.
Well, this is getting to be very interesting here as we start the second half. Berryville comes right out, first play, 16 yards. That's right off the tackle. And that is Cook. Cook's over the 30 to about the 35-yard line. He's tackled there, Landon West. One of the tacklers also looks like may have been number 67, Jacob Call.
Well, this sort of offense, if you can't shut it down, can be so frustrating because it's like a slow death. It's 2 yards, it's 3 yards, it's 5 yards.
Well, that's second down and 5 for the Bobcats. This is the kind of place they want to be at. Second and 5, second and 6, second and 4, and they're just moving the ball steadily down the field. And there's Chapin again. Chapin's going to pick up maybe a yard. Met there by Kurt Singer. I can't quite tell the other. That's 41 for the Tigers. That is Brandon Taylor also helping out.
Well, you'd sure like to get out of this and get the football back. They're probably not going to throw the football, and from what we saw in the first half, I mean, this is 2-down territory for them. Although I don't know, in a 7-7 ball game in the third quarter that you're going to take that sort of chance.
Well, the chance he took now is really that's the points that Prairie Grove have. 3rd down and 4, big play here. Chapin, he's met, and nice stop there by the Tigers. That was Drew Sugg that hit him. Well, I'll take that back. That is Daniel Schrock coming in to make that hit.
He's not punting.
Well, if he's going for it here, this is a very gutsy call. He may try to draw Prairie Grove off with the... I think Prairie Grove's a little unsure what to do here. They're moving all over the place. He just checked off, so he's got a play called. And this time on 4th down, the gamble pays off. He goes to Jacobs. That's Dalton Jacobs over the 40 to the 41. And the Bobcats take a very gutsy call.
Wow. Give him credit, though. The faith in his offensive line. He needed 2 yards. He got 3.
Wow, that was just nothing fancy there. Just lined up, and that's what they're doing. 9:13 to go here in the third quarter. 7-7 tie. There's Cook. And now Cook's hit by, that was Jacob Call come finish off Colby Elkins, and also on the tackle number 61, Jackson Diebold. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. This is what Prairie Grove wants to get them, is 2nd and long, 3rd and long. The first time they got 16 yards on the play, then they got a 5 yard, makes it 2nd and short. They can stick just to what they do.
Tonight they've Berryville 29 carries for 93 yards. I mean, the numbers don't suggest that you're dominating the football game, but they've certainly got control of it.
And here's a pass, and now nice run there. That's Cody Powell. He's into Tiger territory down to the 46-yard line, and
they're going to have to start spying him, because the minute he drops back, he's not looking to throw the football. He looks to one receiver, and then he's pulling the ball down and running it.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the ball at the Prairie Grove 45. That's 16. That's Coatney. Coatney down to the 43. Picks up about 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Looks like Noah Hunter on the tackle. If you look across at the Prairie Grove fans, they're just sitting there. It's so much
State
different.
Of shock. State of shock.
Second down and 7. Berryville on the move. Ball at the 43 of Prairie Grove. And right there, number 52, Dalton Kurtzinger. He gets Chapin quick. Murphy helping him out. Nice form tackle there by Kurtzinger. He wrapped him up and took him to the ground.
Now you got him 3rd and long, but as we've seen, this is 2-down territory here. They're going to go on 4th down if they're close. So you need another, either negative play or a 0-yardage play. And I still think they've got to start spying Powell, because every time he drops back, he looks at one man. If it's not there, he runs.
Well, we're almost halfway through the 3rd quarter with this drive. Started again at their own 13. They have moved the ball extremely well. Powell under center. And that is Jacob Call. He meets very quickly Chapin. Maybe a yard on the play, if a yard. It's going to be 4th down and 9. And now, interesting decision here. And I say normally it wouldn't be interesting, but with him going on 4th on his 25 and 4th at his own 39. But this time it looks like he's going to punt the ball.
Conventional wisdom says punt the ball, punt him deep. Your defense has played well to this point, but I'd be in punt safe, looking for the fake. Got a little motion penalty.
If it's a motion, you might as well take a shot at it since there's a flag down. But ball's going to roll dead at about the 20. I think if you're Prairie Grove here, do you take this and maybe get a little bit better field position?
I think you take it and make them punt it again. But I think Coach Absher, he's going to take the football and be happy with it. Get the ball back into his playmaker's hands.
The ref. Well, you're right. Coach Absher is going to say, "Let's get the ball and get moving." Tigers with the ball in the eye. That's Bartholomew. He's right up the middle. Weston Bartholomew. Goes about. I'm going to call. He's going to be. I think where they mark it, he's going to be about a half a yard short. So they'll be a 9-yard carry for.
Yep,
they're going to mark it at the 30. So that's a 1st down, 10-yard run there by Bartholomew, and that probably matches his total almost.
That would be his long run of the night. He's got 8 carries, 32 yards.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 30. Again in the eye. This time it's going to Schrock. Schrock's hit immediately. That was number 44, Jacob Parks. But nice run there by Hard run. He's going to get a yard. Christian Denton coming in, bringing the play into Cooper Winters.
You know, we've talked about 3rd down conversions all year long. Prairie Grove 2 of 5 tonight, hitting 30% on the season. That's certainly going to up their total, but they've got to start hitting on those as the clock winds down.
There's a fumble on the play. He never got the ball back, and they're fighting down there for it. And Berryville's feeling good about it. And Berryville gets the ball at the Tiger 32-yard line, and that's, you know, we've not had a lot of costly turnovers throughout the year. We've had some, but now this one, now at the ball at the 32, and this is the first time they've started in this kind of field position.
Yeah, and this is not the way you want to start the second half. That's a concentration error, just pulled out of the center too fast.
Well, you know, one of the things we talked about throughout the year, when you've got field position, you got to take advantage of it, and now here's an opportunity for Berryville. There's Cook. He's met quickly there. That definitely was Murphy, and there's a lot. There's Drew Sugg going there trying to strip the ball. Looks like Kurt Singer and Call also helping out. Well, as we go to 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter, this is a dogfight.
This has become a lot more interesting than I think that we wanted. That's for darn sure. But I think if you're Prairie Grove here, you got to limit the damage, at least force a field goal attempt. You know,
well, you got to hope to here to stop them again.
There you go.
There it is, intercepted by John Halbert. Halbert's at the 40, the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Give him 6. Touchdown, Prairie Grove.
Ooh. Needed that one. Needed that one.
That was a huge play, and that is his second long interception return for a touchdown.
That is a long interception, and I'll tell you what, that is a play that they absolutely have. We talked about it. You got to have somebody step up and make a play.
Well, and the interesting thing is, I was reminded by someone real close to John that he had an interception just before half in Farmington that gave us a 21-0 lead, which turned out to be big as Farmington roared him back in the third quarter. Landon out in to try the extra point. Halbert on the hold. Good snap. And it's good. So with 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, our score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 14, Berryville Bobcats 7.
I want you to try and imagine all the progress that's been made in medicine since 1918. Now try and imagine the progress that's been made in the insurance business as well. Needless to say, the changes have been massive, but Sterling Drug in Prairie Grove has kept up with it all. And Gary Davis and his staff are ready to provide you with the latest and most effective drugs, and they're going to work with the insurance companies as well. While there have been massive changes in medicine and insurance, one thing that has not changed is the quality professional care you'll receive from Sterling Drug. Sterling Drug, keeping you healthy since 1918. Imagine all the progress that's been made in medicine since 1918.
Well, we're back, and a big play there by John Halbert.
That was my pick to click tonight, by the way.
I know you said the pick. As soon as he took it, I thought that's the first thing that came to my mind. You said he would be a key player tonight. He's made the biggest play of this football game and given Prairie Grove a 14-7 lead, and he changed the field because they were in great field position. Landon Allen now with the kick. Going to be fielded there by Chapin. Chapin at the 10, the 20. And Chapin's going to get out to about the 27-yard line. Tripped up there. That was Logan. That was number 26, Logan Bartholomew. I haven't seen him much this year. He was hurt early, but
he got a carry last week against Shiloh. But now you'd like to get that 3 and out, get the ball back, and see if you can't put some distance between yourselves and Berryville at this point. I like the idea of pressuring the quarterback coming after him.
Coatney the carry. Tackled there by Jacob Call. Second and 9 for the Bobcats. Powell looks like he may be changing the play. There's a blitz there. Picked up pretty well there by the Bobcats. Cook, he's going to be tackled over on the left side. Tackle there made by number 2, Colby Elkins.
Well, 3rd and 5. I don't think you're going to see Berryville put the ball up in this situation. I think you've got to bring up 8, 9 guys to the line of scrimmage and see if you can't just box them in like you've been doing, getting penetration up the middle. I don't think we're going to see Berryville put the ball up much at all the rest of the night.
3rd and 5 for the Bobcats. 2:45 to go here in the third quarter. Prairie Grove leading 14-7. Nice tackle there by that's Jacob Call and also Trenton Southern on the tackle. Penalty on the play. Looks like there was a hold there in the backfield, and it is holding.
I think you got to push them back.
I think with them going for it on fourth down as much as they have, you definitely have to do that. Well, Coach Abster takes the penalty, backs them up inside their own 20.
And you make this a 3rd and 18, and
very good, because they have gone for it on fourth down. Yeah, and if they were close enough, they would have tried. And
I think we're going to see the same play we saw at the end of the first half with Jacob slipping out of the backfield, and the offside corner to the top side of the screen's got to be aware of him. But I think that's what you're going to see here.
There's Jacob.
Yep, there it is.
Powell had number 44, Jacob Parks, open there for a little bit. Ball falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 17 to go for the Bobcats. So the interception by Halbert has changed the kind of the feel of the game here, as the field has switched. Prairie Grove's should get the ball in really good territory.
If Prairie Grove can get good field position here, get the ball and punch it in, boy, they should be able to put a stranglehold on this.
Here's the kick. It's off the side of his foot. Get out of the way there, guys. And that's going to take a Prairie Grove bounce, and looks like Cook is going to down it at the Berryville 37-yard line. So now Prairie Grove needs to take care of business here as they got the ball on the Bobcat side of the field.
Yeah, he rushed
2 minutes,
that punt
24
a little
seconds, you can see, and it's 14-7 Tigers.
Jared got good pressure up the middle and on the outside of the punt, and then he just rushed that one. It came right off the side of his foot. He shouldn't have been in that big a hurry to get rid of it. Jared wasn't that close to him.
Now Cooper, they're looking
Schrock's
to go.
Open.
There's Daniel Schrock out of the backfield. Nice block by Christian Denton. Whoa, another nice block by Landon Allen, and he gets up and celebrates, but what a run after the catch by Daniel Schrock. Gosh, I wish we had instant replay, because there were 2 great
that's
blocks.
Next year. That's next year.
I'm sure our friends from Shiloh last week could have done instant replay.
Well, I'm sure then they would have been happy to tell us about it.
Well, it's 1st down and goal at the 5. 2 great blocks there, Christian Denton and Landon Allen, and they spring Schrock. And this is Bartholomew. Give him 6, Prairie Grove. In less than about 2.5 minutes, it was 7-7, and now the Tigers have stretched the lead to 20-7. I'll tell you, it was. They still came out a little lethargic in the second half. The interception by Halbert, kind of gave them a new bounce, and now that, man, what a couple of nice blocks. I hate to keep hounding on that, but boy, they were nice.
That's what we used to call the old lookout block.
Look out! Allen in to try the extra point. 1:57 to go here, and I'll wait. And it's good. And with 1 minute and 57 seconds remaining, our score, the Prairie Grove Tigers, 21, Bobcats 7.
Let's face it, life's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that's moving along at a faster pace these days, and every now and again you find that one stop that allows you to catch your breath. That one stop that reminds you of the good old-fashioned values. The one stop that hand dips their ice creams and makes hamburgers to die for. The one stop that can furnish you with propane and pizza and everything in between. And they usually call you by your name and ask you about your family. Well, that place in...
Okay, here comes Landon Allen to kick. That's a great kick. It's going to bounce And now Cook has to take it inside his 5. Nice return by Cook. He gets it out, tackled there by number 61, Jackson Diebold. Nice return because he took it right at about the 2-yard line.
Gets you out of a hole a little bit. But when I was in journalism school, they used to tell us not to drink milk before you went on the air because it made things very uncomfortable. I'd like to add jalapenos to that list. Woo! Note to self. Note to self. Jalapenos while broadcasting, not a good idea.
First down and 10 for the Bobcats. Ball at their own 22-yard line. 1 minute, 52 seconds to go here in the third, and that is Chapin. He's tackled there by Call. Chapin's going to get up to about the 25-yard line. Second and 7 for the Bobcats. I really tip my hat to Berryville tonight. They've played a very good football game. Not made many mistakes.
None. Outside of just being stopped, they really haven't made any mistakes.
And then we make that, and there's a fumble, and Landon West is going to pick it up.
Do you have tomorrow's lottery numbers by chance? Every time you say something like that, it happens.
It was a couple of weeks ago. Prairie Grove hadn't had
a fumble all night. Wham!
Hadn't punt all night, and they
Boom.
punted every time. Well, the Tigers going to take the ball over there at the 24 after Landon West recovers the fumble. Looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field. Timeout Berryville, and this thing was 7-7 at half, and an interception, now a fumble, and so those turnovers have affected the Bobcats. Well,
yeah, if they're not careful now, this could definitely get away from them real quick.
As the camera comes in on the Prairie Grove mascot, we hadn't seen the mascot dance in the last couple weeks.
Do you want me to do that during halftime?
No, you just worry about your jalapenos.
If you're looking for somebody to dance at halftime, I'm certainly available, although you may want to keep an EMT nearby.
Well, it's going to be first and 10 for the Tigers with the ball at the Bobcat 23 following Landon Allen picking up the Addison Cook fumble.
It's just a startling stat to see that Berryville has outrushed Prairie Grove to this point.
116-93.
I'm sure that's going to change here shortly.
And there's Landon Allen after recovering the fumble. Landon breaks out to the right side. Oh, there's a flag down. Give him 6, but I think it's going to come back. Landon West goes 24 yards, but the flag will bring that one back.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Jared for holding.
Jared was turned around and did the who me.
It's usually the first sign that it was you. It's like the old poker, the old poker saying, if you can look around the table, you can't figure out who the sucker is. It's you.
Well, it looks like it must have happened around the 17 or 18-yard line because they're backing it up to the 28, and it's from the spot of the foul. So,
just another costly penalty, though. You take points off the board. Landon's probably out of breath from that.
Cooper, he's going to hand it to Colby Elkins. Elkins, he breaks 2 tackles.
Good move.
Nice move by Colby Elkins. Gets the ball inside the 20. He's knocked down. Looks like number 31 there for Wesley Wall for the Bobcats on the tackle. Brings up second down and 5. Nice move there by Colby.
He's shifty. He's a lot like Weston, just a little bit smaller version. I'd be interested to see more of that spread option with him as the season develops. That's a weapon. If you split Cooper out and bring Colby in to run that sort of thing, it's another dimension to your offense.
There is Big Daniel Schrock, the moose up the middle. He just breaks tackles. Daniel Schrock finally brought down by number 44, Jacob Parks. Schrock has been effective. He's got a couple of receptions tonight. And what's his numbers look like? 5 for 36 there, or is that?
That would be now 6 for 48. Yeah,
8 yards a carry, and then he's got a reception or 2.
He's got 2 receptions, 44 yards.
So he's got a lot of. We start thinking about our Steak and Shake player of the game.
I think Mr. Halbert may have a stranglehold on that one.
He's got a stranglehold definitely on the play of the game. And now there's Bartholomew. He's up the middle and give him 6. And Prairie Grove here in the third quarter has exploded for now 20 points. And with 4 seconds to go here in the third, Prairie Grove has stretched the lead to 27-7 and this extra point. You know, we talked about mistakes, and Berryville's made 2 costly turnovers here that have led to Prairie Grove scores. One, the Halbert interception, the fumble recovery by Landon West gets the ball at the 24, and 2 quick scores, and that's a high snap. Halbert gets it down, and it's good. And with 4 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, our score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 28, Berryville Bobcats 7.
Ozark Delight Lollipops are America's #1 fundraising lollipop. We produce our lollipops the old-fashioned way in small batches, ensuring flavor intensity to the last lick. Mass-produced, machine-made lollipops are simply inferior, and you and your customers can taste the difference. From the production to customer service to everything in between, Ozark's Delight does it right. So whether you're ordering for the next fundraising project or just need some of your favorite flavors, we're here to help. Click our website, ozarkdelight.com, or call us toll-free at 1-800-334-8991.
Oh, there's a, that happened against Farmington in the beginning of the second half.
Right.
Same type of kick. That hits Justin Summers in the back of the foot, but he turns around and gets the ball back.
And we recovered the one against Farmington. I don't know if that's designed or not. It's just too odd to happen twice.
Well, with 2 seconds to go here in the third quarter, it's 28-7 Prairie Grove. Oh.
No, sir.
That was Jacobs hit immediately there. Nice tackle by number 21, Jared Murphy. And that's the end of the third quarter. And at the end of 3, our score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 28, Berryville Bobcats 7.
Since 1947, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, there's been a Lewis at the helm of Lewis Automotive. It's family-owned, family-operated by a family that calls Prairie Grove home. Now, you do the math. They'll soon be entering their 65th year of service. 65 years. You don't go that far in any one business without treating people good, and I mean real good. As a matter of fact, Ford awarded Lewis Ford their coveted President's Award, one of the top dealerships in the nation, run by hometown folks. Lewis Automotive is a proud sponsor of Prairie Grove Tiger football. The Bank of Fayetteville, it's a bank, right? It offers all the services that banks offer: checking, savings, commercial loans, personal loans. They even have trust services, and they offer financial planning. And amidst all of this, they've even stepped into the new age, and they offer online banking. But with all of this progress and all these services, they still offer something the other guys have seemingly forgot. They know you by your name, and they treat you with good old-fashioned customer service.
Well, as we get ready to start the fourth quarter, second down 11 for the Bobcats. Boy, they have really stuffed Chapin the last few times he's carried the ball. Going to be third down and no gain on the play. Zach, I'm going to check the feedback page here. It's been a while since I've done that.
Always a great idea in the fourth quarter.
My wife informed me via text that I have an eye appointment on Monday.
Oh, they got him.
Oh, fumble on the play.
I think he got it. Nope.
I think Prairie Grove's going to get the ball.
Yes,
there's a third turnover for the Bobcats. And Prairie Grove's going to take over at the Bobcat, about the 35-yard line. And
good play by Jacob Call, forcing the fumble, and your man Dalton Falk was in there.
Well, a lot of comments here we got some from Jake, Kay, Bree, and Mama in the Grove. Give Weston an extra 6 for taking out the ref. I didn't notice that. We will give him that. So it's 28-7 for the Tigers. Ball at the 35. Winners in. That looks like Logan Bartholomew here on the halfback position. There's Schrock up the middle. He's going to pick up a hard 3 yards. Second and 7 for Prairie Grove. Trying to check some other scores here, Zach, to see what else is going on in the conference. And there's Landon West. He's got a lot of room. He's at the 20. 10-5. Give him 6. And this time, no flag, so Landon's going to get the touchdown here. Landon goes about 30 yards for the touchdown, and Prairie Grove, who was midway through the third quarter, Zach, it was 7-7.
Yeah.
And it exploded here in the last, let's say, 7 minutes or so for 27 points. 28 if Landon can tack on the extra point. And that extra point is good. So with 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the ball game, Prairie Grove has stretched the lead to 35-7. We're going to stay here through this time, and just a couple scores I noticed here. If anyone has a Farmington score and can get us a Farmington score, that would be great. We see Shiloh leading 42-14 over Gentry, and we also have a score Ozark leading Pea Ridge 28-0. And we had a Farmington score up earlier. There is a Farmington grab it. It's 12-0 half. That's the last I have. If anyone has an updated score and can post that on the comment page, we'd love to know that.
That could certainly make the conference race a little bit more interesting if Gravett takes that step backwards and joins everybody else with one loss.
Landon Allen getting ready to make a kick, and 35-7, Prairie Grove exploding here third quarter in the beginning of the fourth, and Cook's going to take it at about the 9-yard line. He gets out over the 20. He's going to get past the 25 to about the 28-yard line. Brandon Taylor leading several of the Tigers on the tackle. Trenton Southern also in there on the tackle. Well, Zach, you know, this game has just had a weird feel to it all night, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been odd, if nothing else. Prairie Grove just kind of muddled through the first half, but then an explosion here at the start of the second half, 21 points in the third quarter, and then an attack on another 7 here in the fourth quarter. And man, it's I think the scores were about where we expected. It's just not how we expected it to get here.
So there's Cook. Cook breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to get up close to the 35-yard line. Tackled there by Noah Hunter. Looks like Sugg may have also assisted on the tackle. Second down and 6 for the Bobcats. Ball over the left side. Tackle there made by Sugg and Call. You know what's interesting about our defense? Our defensive line makes a lot of tackles.
Yeah, they do. And, they've had their games where they've been the dominant forces as the night's gone on. And tonight they got off to a slow start here, but you start to see them, getting some penetration, stopping runs in the backfield rather than 3 and 4 yards down the field.
I mean, it's rarely that there's a tackle that it's not Kurtzinger, Sugg, or Call, or Murphy. Of course, Call being the middle linebacker, but those front four really are in on a lot of tackles. Third down and 3. That's Chapin. Chapin on the carry. Landon West. Kurtzinger on the tackle. It's going to be 4th down and a yard. And as head coach Eric Daniel throughout the night has gone through it 4th on 4th, I don't see an exception here.
He's 3 out of 4 tonight. The one time Prairie Grove did stop him was was the one down in their own end that resulted in Prairie Grove's first 7 points of the night.
Well, it looks like Coach Daniel's going to take a timeout. We're going to take this timeout with them. 8 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the game. Prairie Grove leads 35-7.
Every lady remembers that first rose, that first dozen roses, the corsage from the prom, and those memories are made even sweeter from Flowers & Friends in Prairie Grove. Flowers & Friends specializes in fresh and silk flower arrangements for all occasions, from weddings, parties to proms and more, even Decoration Day. Flowers & Friends can create a lasting memory. Flowers & Friends, friendly service and satisfaction is guaranteed. 846-2137. Flowers & Friends, flowers, gift, and more with a hometown touch in downtown Prairie Grove.
Fourth down and 1 to go. Less than a yard. Ball at about their own 38. They got to get to the 39. Well, that kind of, yes, definitely. That's number 24, Addison Cook. He gets over the 40. Tackle made there by Call. Call helps up Cook. Prairie Grove has a big lead, but I think the players definitely have respect for the way that Berryville has played tonight. It's not like they came in here and just dominated the game. They've had 3 costly turnovers.
A couple of big plays in the third quarter, and Prairie Grove finally got a stranglehold on the game. But until that point, until John Halbert's interception, I mean, this was a toss-up, and you and I were getting a little concerned.
I just got a Farmington score with 1:30 left to go in the third. Farmington leads Gravett 12-6. Berryville picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Starting to see some new faces come in on the defensive side. Nick Suggs checking in. Jack Reynolds is in. I think we're going to see Coach Abser substitute somewhat freely here in the fourth quarter, get some guys some time.
That's one I haven't seen much this year. I'm trying to get the number there, number 60.
Incoming. Guess who? Nick Sugg.
Nick Sugg. Nick is a sophomore. He's a very aggressive, very athletic. I think he can play any sport. I've seen him play baseball, basketball. He's a very good football player.
Heck of a shot with a paintball gun. I have the bruise to prove it.
Number 63 for the Tigers.
Jack Reynolds.
Jack Reynolds in at linebacker now. Call and the blitz there, and they fake it, and that play's worked well for them. They've run it a couple of times tonight. Dalton Jacobs going to get the completed pass into Tiger territory. Halbert right there, and they get the first down. Well, there's still a lot of fight in these Bobcats. Yeah. They're really playing hard tonight.
If you're Prairie Grove, you want to finish strong here. You don't want to give anything cheap if they punch it into the end zone. At least make them earn it. You're starting to move some folks around.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Another update. Farmington 20, Grab 6. Our counterparts that do the webcast for Farmington, Jared Morrison's keeping me informed. Nick Sugg, there's a fumble on the play. Did you see the form of that he tackled there? Came in head up, broke down, wrapped up, and took him right to the ground. Very good technique there by the sophomore Nick Sugg. Jake McBride also texted me and let me know the Farmington score 20-6. So it's a interesting ball game there for Gravett.
I think it's against the rules to actually root for Farmington, but got fingers crossed up here, and that's going to make the 1-4A really, really interesting.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 9 for Berryville. 5 minutes 45 seconds remaining in the ball game. There's the handoff. That's Cook. He breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to be inside the 40, down to the 48 or 38-yard line, 37 for the Kurt Singer, and looks like that was Logan Bartholomew and Kurt Singer in on the tackle. 5:37 remaining in the ball game. Prairie Grove with a comfortable lead of 35-7, but hasn't been like that all night.
Now we've got some new faces in there on defense, and Brandon Taylor playing outside linebacker right now. Christian Denton's just come in to play a corner.
Sugg, you got Noah Hunter still in there. It looks like that's Diebold in there, and there's Cook. He's hit there again. There's Nick Sugg, and I think 61. They got Kurt Singer and Diebold all in there on the tackle. Boy, I tell you what, Nick is very aggressive in there.
Yeah, he started off and on. As the season's gone on, he's had some really big games. Had a nice game against Ozark. Made a start there. And he's going to be a player down the line, like we've talked about all season long. This is a young football team. 37 players are underclassmen.
2nd down and 10 for the Bobcats. There's the ball. Prairie Grove's got that. Yep, fumble on the play. Prairie Grove showing blitz the whole time, and that's going to be Kurt Singer with the recovered fumble.
Yep, Jacob Call disrupted that one.
Yeah, he did. He showed the blitz, and he got through almost before the snap. But it looks like Jacob Storley's in now at quarterback. Let's see who the line there is. You got Jacob Lacey in there, and Sugg, and here comes Halbert in. So Jacob Storley's in at quarterback now. Looks like Logan Bartholomew, and that built like Nick Sugg there.
That's Nick at fullback, yep.
There's Bartholomew, and he's over the left side. He's going to pick up about 4 yards. Tackled there by Jacobs.
We saw him during the Black Gold game rip off a couple of long runs, and Logan's got the speed to do it.
I'd like to see him get on the outside and make a run. 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in our ball game, 35-7. Coming up at the end of the game, we'll announce our Steak and Shake player of the game, and then we'll also have stats coming to you brought to you by Ozark Delight Candy. 2nd down and 6. Jacob fumbles the ball, and I think that Berryville got that one back there. Yep. Berryville recovers the fumble. And that happens a lot. The younger players come in, they haven't had a chance to take many snaps, or they're not warmed up. Storley comes over. He's talking to his center there, Creighton Ledbetter, and looks like they may actually go over there and take a few snaps. 3 minutes, 48 seconds. Prairie Grove leading 35-7. Elkins trailing Yellville Summit.
That's a bit of a surprise. Elkins was playing well.
Elkins beat Lincoln last week. Lincoln had one of their best seasons ever, I think, starting off 5-0. Cook on the carry. He gets the ball to the 28. the person we saw in the first half that really ran the ball well for Berryville was Chapin, and he's
been
been quiet here in the second half.
Yeah, he's 21 carries, 61 yards on the night. They've done a nice job on him, but you can see Prairie Grove starting to rack up the offensive numbers here. 26 carries, 190 yards. That offensive line eventually did take over, but not a typical Prairie Grove night as far as rushing yards go. I mean, you usually see them. I think they're averaging right around 189 a game, something like that, but.
It didn't feel like 190 yards.
It sure didn't. It's all come here in the last, about 10 minutes or so.
Powell, he hands off there, and I believe that's Cook again. That's Elkins and Kurtzinger. Help Cook also out there. Call and Landon West. Landon's played a good game tonight. We start talking about players of the game. Obviously, Halbert's a candidate. Daniel Schrock, 7 carries, 81 yards, and then he's got the reception of 44, so he's got over
2 catches for 125
total yards tonight, so he's got to be a candidate.
I still would, I guess we can talk about that here in a second. I would still cast my vote for the man that changed the game.
Oh, wow, it's looking up, and Christian Denton has a shot at the interception there. Ball intended for Reyes. I was hoping to see Reyes get a chance to kick a field goal tonight. He looks like he's got a really good leg.
He really does. He's got a nice leg, and Christian had him blanketed.
2 minutes, 39 seconds to go in this football game. Well, it looks like Prairie Grove, we start thinking about, it's 4th down and 8 here. We start thinking about next week, senior night, Pea Ridge. We'll be coming to you for the final regular season home game for Prairie Grove.
Be an emotional night for this group of seniors, 11 seniors, and it's we'll get everybody introduced, and next year's senior night could take 45 minutes because of all the juniors.
And there's a blitz there. They're going to get that's Murphy, and I believe Call on the blitz on 4th down. They wrap up Powell, and Powell's been tough back there tonight. He kind of hobbles off the field. Well, 2:30 remaining. Let's.
We make this an open debate.
We can't. The thing is tonight our cameraman can't be.
Yeah, he'd be somewhat impartial tonight.
The cameraman can't take a vote tonight, so we'll.
As father of mystery player, we'll just say he's father of 4. He doesn't get to vote tonight.
There's Logan. He's over the left side, and
look out!
There he goes. Come on, break it, Logan.
He's
Logan.
Gone.
Oh,
he's gone.
I think he's gonna go. Logan.
He's gone.
Logan.
Logan.
All the way down to the 10-yard line. Nice run.
That is the potential that he has. He is fast. He is elusive, and
48-yard carry, I believe.
Yeah, that's a heck of a run. Where'd they mark him down?
If he could have ever got the full, he never got the full stride. Nope. He was still looking for the room. If he could have ever just opened up stride, they wouldn't have caught him. I don't believe.
There's justice here. I think you give him the football again, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
And with that, he becomes the second leading rusher tonight. With that run, that puts Prairie Grove at 232 yards tonight.
He outrushed his cousin by 6 yards with 8 less carries. There's
Colby.
Colby Elkins. He's up and give him 6. And with 1:53 left, Prairie Grove hits pay dirt one more time. (41-7) and Landon Allen in to make the try here. And it is good with 1:53 remaining. Our score, Prairie Grove 42 and Berryville 7.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office, for telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV. Think PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
All right, as we come back to you for the final minute and 53 seconds, we have decided on our Steak and Shake players of the game.
Yeah, we're going to go
co-players. John Hobart, who's
72 yards. 72 yards, not as long as the one against Farmington, but that really ignited everything and got this avalanche of points started. And then how can you not give it to Moose? He was an integral part of the offense. Daniel Schrock had 7 carries, 81 yards, and then 2 other receptions for 44 yards. Just a big night for him.
Well, look here. This is look who might catch him. It's going to be Bartholomew. If anybody catches him, and he does. Logan, we've talked about his speed. He almost did that to his cousin in the black and gold game. Just barely missed catching up with him. But nice run there for number 22, returned by Harry Chapin, by Ethan Chapin.
It's going to be a long ride home, isn't it? Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle, for those who don't know. Big yellow taxi. Man, it's going to be a long ride.
I got to tell you, I actually had that thought early in the game. Said I cannot make that mistake, and now with a minute and 35 seconds,
46 minutes and 35 seconds, you managed to avoid doing that.
First down and 10, ball at the 48 or 18. Cook on the carry. He's met there by several Tigers. That's Spencer Galden, and looks like number 63. Jack Reynolds.
I guess as long as we don't have to hear from his daughter, we should be okay. Mary Chapin Carpenter, stay with me.
1 minute to go in the ball game. Berryville with the ball, trailing 7-42, 42-7. And nice tackle there. I believe that was Brandon Taylor.
Prairie Grove's done a nice job here in the second half, cutting off those off-tackle plays that Berryville was having so much success with in the first half. They've done a nice job, shutting down Mr. Chapin.
Well, the interesting thing, you talked about the game between the ears. The game between the ears, Prairie Grove, but also for Berryville, they played so well, and then the mistakes happened, and it just seemed to fall apart.
Yeah, it snowballed, and it starts with a quick interception, a pick six, and then Prairie Grove got running. They got rolling, and things piled up pretty quick. Oh, he was open. Jacobs was open.
And since it's a 35-point lead, they're going to roll the clock the last 5, 4, 3, and that's going to do it here in Berryville tonight, where Prairie Grove, halfway through the fourth quarter, 7-7, explodes in the last 18 minutes for 35 points, and Prairie Grove wins this ball game 42-7. Well, let's take a quick timeout. We're going to bring to you the stats brought to you by Ozark Delight Candy.
So you're having a fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and flavorable. By the way, that's a brand spanking new word. Well, think fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and flavorable. By the way, that's a brand spanking new word. Well, think Ozark's Delight Lollipops. It's unique, it's fun, fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a fundraiser, but you don't want the same old, and you want a project that is turnkey, and you want a product that is fun and flavorable. By the way, that's a brand spanking new word. Well, think Ozark's Delight Lollipops. It's unique, it's fun, and it's highly successful, and a great way to raise some funds and have some fun doing it. Did I mention that it's flavorable? Check out the website, ozarkdelight.com, or call them at 1-800-334-8991. Ozark Delights, America's #1 fundraising lollipop, says go Tigers.
Well, as we come to the close of the ball game, Prairie Grove victorious tonight, 42-7. Zach, let's go through the stats brought to you by Ozark Delight Candy.
A couple of things jump out at you. We talked about the penalties at halftime. 6 penalties for 45 yards there in the first half. Only 2 penalties in the second half, and they weren't really they weren't big yardage penalties. One had Landon's touchdown run call back, but other than that, they cleaned it up in the second half. I don't know what was said at halftime, but whatever it was, please bottle it because we're going to need it next week. For senior night. Prairie Grove rolled up 330 yards total offense, which was a big jump. Most of that, of course, coming in the third quarter. Ozark just one. Ozark. Sorry, the purple gets me. Berryville just 157 yards total offense. Number that maybe you can build around a little bit was we won the turnover battle tonight. 4 turnovers for Berryville, just 2 for Prairie Grove, both on fumbles. One at the end of the game that really didn't have wasn't consequential in the game. It didn't have anything to do with the outcome of the game, but. Prairie Grove's got to bring it every week. They've got to understand that suddenly they've gone from being the hunter to the hunted. If the score in Farmington holds, Prairie Grove's going to be right up there in that 1-2-3 mix. And I know you and I have talked about this before as far as playoff seedings going. It may be a little bit early to talk about it, but I don't want to go down to the Delta. I'd like to play a game in Prairie Grove. Absolutely. If you want the truth, Prairie Grove's got to bring it every week. They can't have halves like this against a team like Pea Ridge or Gentry. Gentry's really, they're an improved football team. The numbers are down a little bit, but Gentry will put some points on the board. And then of course you get into the game with Gravett. You can't play like this against a team like Gravett. Absolutely not. Well, our Steak and Shake players of the game, John Halbert, whose interception just ignited the Tigers, and then also Daniel Schrock. Daniel Schrock also, he had 88 yards rushing, 44 receiving, 81 rushing. Good night, good all-around night for him. Had some good, tough runs. Had a nice reception there. They got him down to the 5-yard line. Got things kind of moving for Prairie Grove. And a quiet night for Cooper Winters. Ironically, just 38 yards of rushing, 87 yards passing. We didn't put the ball up a whole lot. Didn't have to. Well, we did early. Yeah, we did early, and then we moved the ball some, and then was unable to score. And we said, hey, we need to go do what we do best, and we pounded it out for the 42-7 win. Well. Next week, we'll be coming to you for the final regular season home game where we'll have the Tigers take on the Pea Ridge, and Pea Ridge will come to the game. I think they were losing to Ozark 28-0, but they'll come for senior night. Very important game for Prairie Grove because if they can establish that win, that'll pretty much clinch a playoff spot, and then it's about seeding. Something to think about with Pea Ridge. This was a team that was picked to finish dead last in the conference. They've got a couple of conference wins. Their coach is probably one of the best in this area, and they're going to bring it next week. You can be sure Prairie Grove has got to meet them, at least their enthusiasm level, and then do what they do, and they should be fine. Well, we'll come to you next week. We want to say thanks to all of you who have watched us tonight, and we will see you next week. Thank you, and have a good night.
This has been a presentation of Prairie Grove Tiger Football. The broadcast of tonight's game was made possible through PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Ozark Delight, America's #1 fundraising lollipop. Lewis Automotive, serving all of Northwest Arkansas since 1947. The Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. Sterling Drug, serving Prairie Grove since 1918. Flowers and Friends, flowers, gifts, and more with that hometown touch. Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers, shakes, malts, and more, just south of the Northwest Arkansas Mall. J&B Auto, Prairie Grove's bumper-to-bumper parts store. And Frederick's One Stop, the one stop for all your needs when you're on the go. Also contributing to tonight's broadcast was the Prairie Grove All Sports Booster Club, showing your Tiger pride is just a membership away. Click on PGTigersOnline.com and follow the links. And on the behalf of the administration and the East Lab of Prairie Grove High School, and on the behalf of our broadcast team, Lynn Gregson, Zach Arns, and Steve Halbert, we want to thank you for watching Prairie Grove Tiger football. It's great to be a Prairie Grove Tiger.